people say that Black Americans here in America don't have African culture. It is an absolute, it's not true. It's not true, right? But they created an African culture based off the land that they're in and the circumstance that they're in. And if you look at a lot of the things that they, like when I talk about my videos, this is where I get the most, oh my God, my grandmother does that. We call that this. Oh, my grandfather does that. We call that this. Oh, we do that every Wednesday. Oh, this and this and that. That's where I get the most of that feedback. But somehow it's where the least amount of Africa is preserved. And that's just not true. Odinani, right? The term Odinani or Odinala is, it literally means as it is on the land, right? So Odinala, this Igbo spirituality, we're calling it, right? Observe what's going on the land, act accordingly. And that's what you see throughout Africa. You see that throughout Africa. And that's why I think you get so many similarities. I think we talked about this last time, where if you are standing in Mozambique and you're standing in Gambia and you're both describing the sky, you're going to say very similar things, right? You're going to say very similar things. And I think that's where a lot of those commonalities come from. I could be wrong, but I could be wrong. Go ahead.
If you look at the language of Igbo people of Nigeria, the Igbo language, is there anything you can say maybe that's separated from other languages around?
Oh, good question. I would have to learn more of the other languages. And then, of course, my depth in Igbo is not the strongest, right? I lived at home for about 3-4 years, and I came back when I was 7. So typically, I don't know what a 7-year-old doesn't know when it comes to Igbo language, right? If you start talking about anything too X-rated, I don't know what you're talking about, right? So I have limits as far as Igbo goes, but it's a lifelong journey of learning and getting better and that type of thing. So, but that being said, may not be the best person to ask that question, because I don't know too much about the other languages around. But one of the things I will say about Igbo that is very unique is it has a very mathematical nature, right? It's like learning Igbo it's very similar to the way you would learn how to do multiplication, addition, subtraction, and so forth. Why do I say this? Because in really looking at it, I saw that all of the words were either onomatopoeia, which is a sound turned into a word, right? Or like, for example, camp, that kind of thing, simple. So it's either that, and that's the more rare situation, or it is a conjugation of a verb, right? So that if you learn 20 verbs in the Igbo language, you will learn an infinite amount of words, right? An infinite amount of words, which is very similar to mathematics, where if you learn 0 to 9, those digits 0 to 9, you now can create an infinite amount of numbers.
We believe that everyone has a story to share. We believe in the power of storytelling in today's digital economy. Yes, we believe that our audience need to be touched at the level of emotion so we can better engage. What about you? Do you believe in storytelling as much as we do? Do you want to reach the hearts and minds of your audience? Then join us in our online training class, Storytelling for Content Creators and Digital Entrepreneurs. Come to obehiawanfood.com/storytelling and learn how to leverage your storytelling skills so you can earn more as a content creator and digital entrepreneur. Storytelling is a powerful instrument at our disposal. Let's explore it together. See you in the class.
Right? So I'll try to think of an example. Okay, for example, Udinala, right? You go to the first sound, the Udi, right? Udi, right? Udi is DI is like a state, like a how something is, a state of being, right? A state of being. If you put an O in front of it, Udi, it's almost like situation or status, or not status like rank, but like what is the status of the weather in California, that kind of thing. Kekodi, right? That kind of thing. But that odi describes that. If you replace the o with a u, it becomes udi, right? Udi is an era, like an era. What is the state of being in time, right? Udi, state of being in time. And you can just take any word and you can just do that. Like you take the verb, di, or whatever verb it is, ga, ga. Uga is also like an era or an epoch, right? The different ages of time. We talk about the Renaissance there. All those are Uga and Uga, right? And then Ga itself is like movement. Ga, to go, is go, Ga, movement, that kind of thing. So you take those verbs and you put something in front of it, it becomes something new that is related to that verb. It changes the nature of that verb, but it puts the verb in a new context, right? One of the most loud and clear examples is agon, right? Agon. People, there's this argument among Igbo people whether agon means lion or leopard. It means leopard. Stop that lion stuff. It means leopard. So, but if you say agon just casually, you could be saying leopard, right? If you say agon is wind. Now I'm talking about the leopard of the sky. This is a hawk or a falcon. If I say agui, now I'm talking about the agon of the river, which is a crocodile, right? So then what is that word agon? You see how it's used like mathematics. So I take 9 and I put a 0 behind it, it's 90. If I put 2 zeros, it's 900, that kind of thing. Now, what is that agon? All of what it's hard to define, but it's whatever all of them have in common. And what I saw that they all have in common is that one, they're the apex predator in all of those terrains, right? And then two, they have the ability to function on all forms. Like, so Agung Walk can fight you on land, they can fight you in the water, it can fight you in the air. Agung the leopard can fight you in the air, it can fight you on the ground, it can fight you in the water. A crocodile can fight you in land, air, water. If you see a crocodile climb a tree, it will blow your mind, but they are excellent climbers, right? That kind of thing. And they can leap and do all kinds of crazy stuff. So that's one thing I thought they all had in common. It's a very mathematical language. And when you understand that, you just figure out what the digits are. Digits are the verbs. Once you figure out the verbs, you can then now start playing with the words and creating different words. I think that's a lot of fun. So
I have another curiosity, which is the sound itself. Of course, you already explained this part of it now when you were doing the initial lay down of the argument of language. That basically, as people move, maybe for example, there is a rivalry between the language is going to change based on that limitation. That is a big mountain. Maybe some people are living because it's a living thing. If you are not exchanging it all the time, then you lose it to the people you are not exchanging it with. Whether the people you are exchanging it with, you continue to have a similar intonation there. Now, I'm trying to imagine something in our language now. Say maybe, for example, say my brother will call me. Say my mom call my name like this, Obehi, or maybe somebody call Obehi.
yeah,
They are not meaning the same thing.
yeah.
They are not saying the same thing
at all. Yeah.
This one, the person that hears it, if you are not part of the culture, you don't understand what it means. So I want you to tell me a little bit about that, because if my mom called me Obehi, meaning that she's suspecting, that is what that means. But she can still call me Obehi. She's not suspecting, No, Obehi.
Yeah.
If she stresses like that, no, that is a warning.
This is a unique feature in our languages, and it's so funny that you're saying it's called. Okay, so for Kedu, my Igbo language school, we have it broken down different levels, right? So level 1, you're introducing yourself to the language, you're getting comfortable using it, that kind of thing. Level 2, you're working on sounding more native, like a native speaker. You're working on being more nuanced and smooth in your delivery and that kind of thing. And one of the things I've found that I've had to make sure that people learn, especially at level 2, is that the way you say things completely affects the meaning. And that our languages, and I say our languages because the same language family, so I'm assuming the rules are similar. Our languages they're not said, they're sung. right? I think we get into this Western mode of, oh, it's a tonal language. So this is the uptone, this is the downtone, which is fine. If that's how you want to learn it, that's fine. But if you think about it like a song, rather than what, Ndibeke, the foreigners use to do language, it'll make a lot more, it'll start clicking a lot faster. Now, how do I say this? Or how do I make this? If I say obey, right? And then somebody has to now say what I just said. If they say obey, they said something different. You actually have to sing it in the rhythm that I said, right? So there's a song that goes, um, uh, this is Thriller, na na na. You can't just say this is Thriller, na na na. We're not doing the same thing. You have to sing this is Thriller, na, na. You have to do that. So okay, now we're saying the same thing. And so if you think about our languages, the one thing it cracks the code for a lot of people. I've come to see. It's like with our teachers in Kedu, they don't say repeat after me. They say sing it the way I'm singing. Sing it because
That's interesting.